Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day today. Good day for me. Work, went a couple places and chilled out. Now I'm just doing some laundry. But I decided today to wear Tom Ford Costa Azzurra. Uh, nice bottles. I think I don't know if I reviewed this before or not, but I know I talked about the caps on the other one. It's not the right cap, but I'll eventually get the right cap. Uh, this might be a little bit of a long video because I want to do a wearing of the fragrance and then talk about the fragrance and Tom Ford in general for a minute. So bear with me. Um, how I applied it, it is an aquatic scent, so it's not as strong as a lot of the other Tom Fords or other non-aquatic scents. So I went with three in my moisturizer, one on my back, shirt on, one on my shirt, one in each crink of the elbow. Um, it was a good amount, it's the right amount, I'd say. Um, what do you first pick up? I first pick up a somewhat salty aquatic vibe coming from the seaweed and some citrus coming from the lemon that's in this. And then pretty quickly some of the florals come out. The sweet and fresh uh, florals from lavender and muskmellow. Uh, they become pretty prominent. The whole while it keeps the aquatic vibe, this aquatic from start to finish. It's got, like I said, that green, salty, aquatic seaweed kind of vibe to it, and it keeps that from start to finish, basically. So just whenever I say something, remember that that's still there. Um, I also get some almost a soft licorice type of smell, which is not too uncommon, believe it or not, in most aquatics. There's no licorice listed or anise or anything, but it's something. Could be the seaweed even. I don't know, but it's nice. It's a soft spice. Um, and it's pretty much only detectable for a half hour, maybe 40 minutes into the life of the fragrance, and then it kind of goes away. But I mean, I can think of one route like Lacoste Live does it too. A lot of aquatics, even though we don't notice it, it's the soft spice, and sometimes whatever spice they use kind of smells. It's not doesn't smell like a harsh dose of licorice, but it smells licorice like. You know what I mean? So it's nice. Um, and a little bit of the green starts to come out. This has got some nice green aspects to it, and that could be a couple notes in this, giving it that green effect. The vetiver could do it. The artemisia could do it, but I pretty much get a green woody cypress. And as it dries down, it keeps again the aquatic vibe, the green vibe, and some nice dry woods mixed in. Definitely driftwood and vetiver. Now I heard there's oud in this fragrance. If there is, I don't smell it at all. I don't pick up any oud. Just basically a dry wood. Like I said, a dry kind of slightly grassy wood, and that would be, like I said, the driftwood and vetiver that are in this. Um, so what is it at the end of the day? It's a fresh, green, woody, slightly sweet, slightly spicy aquatic scent. Um, Nice for what it is. Definitely one of the better aquatics that I've smelled over the years. And I'm not a huge fan of aquatics, so take that with a grain of salt. This isn't really, I mean, I like aquatics, don't get me wrong. They're easy to wear, they're fresh, they're clean, all that stuff. Nothing wrong with them. I wear them, smell fine. It's just, I find a lot of them just kind of boring. And this one, I won't say is no exception. It is, but not a whole lot. Like I said, the green that comes out, the slight spiciness in the green. Cypress is nice in this. But other than that, it's your basic aquatic scent, honestly. Um, you it's a little more than that because a lot of your basic aquatic scents are just kind of a citrus, melon, cucumber kind of vibe with a kind of ambrox and musky base. This is different. I shouldn't have said, but it's still an aquatic at heart, is what I was getting at. And yeah, it's done way better than most of those, but it's still not my favorite type of scent. Now let's talk about the scent for a minute. That was longevity. About 5 hours. Projects pretty good for about an hour, hour and a half, one arm's length out there. Comes in, gives you a bubble for a couple hours, then it's a skin scent for an hour, hour and a half, and then it's gone. Um, but let's talk about this one. When I first put this on, it reminded me of something I owned, I do own, I've smelled years ago, and I couldn't figure it out. I spent like 15 minutes looking over my collection, just looking, what is this? What is this? What's it going to smell like? And I was like, you know what? You guys will tell me in the comments. I'll say this, and you guys will tell me, oh, well, it smells like. But then it hit me. Calvin Klein Escape, Calvin Klein. I'm like, no, it can't smell like that. Uh, but I sprayed them side by side, and well, not a dupe by any stretch. Where's 100%? There is that similarity of the Calvin Klein. Um, yeah, and I can see Tom Ford doing something like that. I mean, I've never met the man, you know, never talked to him in my life or anything, of course. But from people who have met him, people who talk to him, people who know him, and from what I've seen on the internet and whatnot, news, he likes a lot of classic scents, and he brings that vibe to a lot of his scents. Um, so I can see him thinking, either subconsciously or consciously saying, wearing this in his younger days, not this, but Calvin Klein Escape, and, 20, 30 years later, whatever, 40 years later, he's like, he's making this fragrance, he's coming up with this fragrance, whether he did or not, I don't know. But kind of like, this is what I want, and smelling it, and, like I said, either consciously or subconsciously, he basically took Escape, made it a little more modern and all that stuff, got rid of a lot of the old school aspects of Escape, and he Tom Forded it up. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he likes classic, and Escape's a classic, and I could see him doing that. Um, but basically, it's like Escape made with better quality ingredients, adding a little bit of spice, a good dose of cypress, and mellowing down the sharp green aspect that Escape has, and giving it a bit of a, keeping that kind of slight sweetness Escape. I mean, it smells. I'm not gonna say it smells like Escape. I shouldn't, but it smells enough like Escape that it immediately reminded me of Escape. I was like, oh, that's neat, because I really like Escape. So, I prefer Escape, but that's nostalgia, not the scent. Most people are going to like this better. Just nostalgia with me. You know how nostalgic I am, guys, and I prefer Escape. But, and Escape's not really an aquatic either. Escape's more of a, a herbal fougere almost, in a sense. And this is more of a, like I said, an aquatic scent, but it's got aspects of Escape. There's no denying that. Um, so let's get into the price. I went and checked the price on the. First off, I went to Frag Buy for 50 mil. This is 100 mil, and I can't remember if I got it for 60 or 80 or 100, but I got a pretty good deal on it. You'll see in a minute, even at $100. But I think I got it for 60. Frag Buy has a 50 mil for 159 and a 100 mil for 195. That's the discounted price. And here in Canada, you got to have taxes, So you're looking at, even at a discounted price, about $180 for a 50 mil, and about $230, $228, $230 for a 100 mil. It's a lot of money, especially for an aquatic. But retail, I found two retail prices in Canada, the two big ones here in Canada, and Shoppers had the 50 mil for 200, and the 100 mil for 300. Plus tax, that comes to like 234 and 351. And Sephora, they were a little more, 201.50 for a 50 mil and 305.50 for a 100 mil. So a little more even when you include taxes. That's a lot of money, man, for what boils down at the end of the day to a fancy aquatic fragrance. And now, if you like aquatics, you love aquatics, they're your jam, you rock them all the time, it might be worth it to you. I definitely go with the discounted price because unless you get lucky, and I admit it, I got super lucky. I got this for a fucking song and a dance when you compare it to those prices easily. So I got super lucky. I don't think most people are going to get that lucky. So unless you really like aquatics, I mean, they have your favorite. You don't wear anything else but aquatics. You've got a bunch of them. You can smell them. The differences between them. You think every one of them are different and they're great. They work great on blah blah blah. You might want to get this. Get it from the discounter, but you might want to get this. If you're like me, and I think a lot of other people, you don't dislike them. You don't really like them. You know, you're just kind of like, yeah, they're nice. They are what they are. No, no, no. No. Get a dupe. Get Escape and spray some Bulgari Aqua on over it. Layer them, get that aquatic. And not if you're, no, guys. That's a lot of money for something that, the smell is, again, I'm not going to say generic, but it's an aquatic fragrance. It's definitely a unique aquatic, but it's still an aquatic. And the performance, yeah, So, I mean, even at discounters, it's too much money in my opinion, but if you have to get it because you want it, again, you're an aquatic lover, get it at the discounter, but don't pay retail. And I know some people are going to get angry. Tom Ford fanboys, there's 3 fragrance houses that have fanboys that generally will attack you if you say anything bad about them, even if it's the truth, and this is the truth about this, in my opinion anyway, in my humble opinion, of course, but there's Tom Ford, Creed, and Chanel. People will fucking fight each other in the streets over those things. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I've never seen them fight in the streets, but I could, They just fanboy out. And I don't get fanboyism. I mean, you're not getting anything. They're not giving you tons of money to talk. They're not, they're not fucking on their knees giving you a rim, So why would you be a fanboy of them? Something's not good, or I shouldn't even say not good. Something like this. It's a Tom Ford, and it's average. And I know some people are going to say, "Oh, what's it? The quality." This is going to give me a lot of hate with Tom Ford boys too, and girls. Tom Ford's quality is not that great anymore. It's not bad, but it's not what it used to be. The last 5, maybe even 10 years, quality has been slowly going down. This isn't better quality than any top-end designer now. As a matter of fact, it might be not quite as good as like a Dior or a Chanel in terms of quality anymore. And yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it's it should be that price. Tom Ford's now should be that price. The price of a Chanel or a Dior. $150 for a big bottle plus tax, of course. But that should be the going price, not $300. They definitely aren't twice as. Even if they are a little better, they're not double the money as well. So, yeah. So that's it, guys. Compliments. I didn't get a compliment with it today, but I mean, it's an aquatic scent. It's going to get you compliments, right? It's I was at the coffee shop getting a copy, and the girl actually behind me, I know her, of course, and she said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing good. Just getting a coffee." She says, "Oh yeah, I know her. I like what you're wearing today. It's nice." I said, "Thank you." So it'll get you compliments. It's an aquatic. It's a fresh, clean, slightly unique aquatic, but they're known to get compliments. Of course they are, because they smell nice. It's just not my jam. I don't dislike them. Don't nail me to the cross or anything. I do like them. They're just not my favorite type of scent. So anyway, guys, that's it. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.